Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday morning, friends. Today I'm coming at you from Colorado. We're here for just a couple of days. If you don't know this about us, my husband and I are full time RVers. So we've been on the road almost 4 years now, traveling all over the United States. And today we are in Colorado for just a few days. So today is Monday. We are actually leaving Friday. Um, and today I want to talk to you about consistency and like why you're probably getting it wrong. And I don't mean any disrespect with this, but what I find is that so many people are kind of like beating themselves up over it, and you don't need to be. And I think that people stop seeing any progress. They stop themselves from moving forward because they think, oh, I'm not consistent. I'm not doing it every day. So let's bust a myth for a second here. We're told that consistency means doing something every single day, never missing a beat, right? But for most of us, especially if you are juggling work, family, business, life, travel, right? That's simply not realistic. And so I actually find that when people try and do things consistently every single day, right, they actually find themselves burnt out. This goes in any area, whether it's posting on social media, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's, your meal plan, excuse me, whether it's, working on your business, all the things that we're told we need to be consistent in, right? It really leads to burnout. Um, and then that also then leads to feeling like you're a failure. We don't want that. And it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. So in my world, in my beliefs, consistency isn't about perfection or like these super rigid routines. It's about setting a cadence that fits your life, but knowing why you're doing it. Very specific. Knowing why. You need the specifics, right? It's not about just doing, just willy nilly actions. I see this a lot with small business owners and like posting on social media that they're like, oh, I have to post every day. I have to post every day. Why? Well, to get more followers. Followers mean nothing. Followers mean nothing. You want people buying. You want people buying. And so if your cadence, your consistency is about posting every day to get followers, you might see some of that, but you're not reaching the people that you really want, and that's your buyers, that's your customers, your clients, right? So it's less about what you're doing. It's less about doing it every day and more about what you're doing, right? It's about doing the right actions at the right times, not just repeating something for the sake of it, right? Think of this as like, um, for any gardeners out there, like watering a plant, right? Sometimes your plant needs watered every day, sometimes once a week. The key is knowing what it needs and when it needs it, right? To keep it healthy. It's not just, oh, I water my plants once a week. No, you don't. Or if you do, you're probably not as successful, excuse me, guys, as you really want to be. It's probably not as healthy as you want it to be, right? And that's because you're just setting this cadence of once a week when that's not what the plant actually needs. You know, I see this so much. I've seen it with myself. I've seen it, with a lot of different business owners and a lot of different businesses and a lot of different just, not even businesses per se. I see it a lot with people like trying to eat clean, workout routines and everything. They just feel like they're struggling and they're failing because somebody else is telling them, quote unquote, how often to do things, but it doesn't actually fit, your life. And so there's something to be said for pushing yourself. There's something to be said that if you keep going and you don't want to change what you're doing at all, you're not willing to make any sacrifices, then yeah, you're not going to see the success that you really want to see. But also, it's not about changing everything up and creating a system or putting consistency into place that isn't actually going to get you where you want to go, because it's not built for your life, your business, your goals, your dreams, right? And so, someone that, going back even to the social media, somebody that posts like, 3 times a week with intention and knowing exactly who it is that they're talking to and why they're posting, are going to get far better results than somebody posting once a day with absolutely no plan, right? So it's a lot about finding your rhythm, not copying somebody else's. And again, knowing why. What is your purpose? And getting right into the heart of it, right? Getting to the heart of it. So, how do you find your cadence? What works for you? A couple of questions that you can ask yourself, right? Is really, what are my goals here? What's realistic for my life right now? Where can I push myself? How can I really step out of my comfort zone? How can I push myself in this area? And what am I really trying to accomplish? That's different than your goal. Goal, I think, is like the big picture. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? Do you want to bring more people into your circle? Do you want to sign more clients? Do you want to sell more items? Knowing that exactly, and then how many, right? Knowing why. What is the purpose? When you start asking yourself these questions, you start to narrow down, okay, then what actions can I take to make this happen, right? Use tools, set reminders for yourselves, put it on your calendar, set a timer on your phone. Ask for guidance from your mentors, right? Ask your best friend, like, hey, I need some accountability here, can you help remind me, or can you ask me how it went? This is important about consistency, not only consistency, but accountability as well, right? It's developing systems that actually work. And if you're trying to just be consistent and hold yourself accountable, just yourself, most of the time you're not a good accountability partner. So find somebody, mentors, business partners, friends that you can trust, that are going to help hold you accountable with this cadence, this consistency that you're trying to build, right? Again, it's not about being perfect with it, but it's really about showing up for yourself, and then knowing why you're doing it. What is the purpose behind it? I would love to hear, like, where have you maybe struggled with consistency? What did you believe consistency meant before? Did this short little 8 minutes here change your perspective on what consistency can mean for you? Right? That's really how you start to build success and confidence in yourself, is when you start to really look at what your beliefs were before and how they've maybe been holding you back. And consistency is one of those big areas, right? So share below. Let me know some of your previous beliefs around consistency. Have those changed? Did this short little video give you a different perspective? Share it. Let's have a conversation about this in the comments, because I think it's important that we just acknowledge, right? No, this, Sarah, I don't agree with you. That's great. I'd love to know it. Or if a perspective shift has happened, I would love to hear that as well. So, friends, this week, let's start to build in some consistency and a cadence that fits what you're trying to accomplish. All right? So, go out there. Let's get them. Let me know how it goes. And I cannot wait to see what our conversation is in the comments. All right. Bye for now, friends.